Greetings to the fans of the Dallas Cowboys. All right. Welcome to the best channel that keeps you informed about the Dallas Cowboys, and in this video I bring a super hot news that comes reverberating on the web by the fans. But before going to the video, I ask you to subscribe to our channel, activate the bell to receive more news about the Dallas Cowboys. Without further ado, we go to the video. Open market. WRS worthy of the Cowboys' interest with the events of Super Bowl 57 now in the rearview mirror. The Kansas City Chiefs having prevented the Philadelphia Eagles from lifting their franchise's second Lombardi trophy, it's officially time for the Dallas Cowboys to begin preparing as they board and attack 2023 NFL free agency. Legal tampering begins on March 13th and the new year of the league begins on March 15th, and there are many contracts expiring that will take players to market for teams to start making offers in. As it relates to the position of wide receiver in Dallas, there's no shortage of talent that should interest the Cowboys. The wide receiver. What's here? Ty Hilton. The Ghost appeared in Dallas and wasted no time stealing the scene. After all, on the third descent, meet Ty, as Prescott so eloquently stated after the now legendary 3rd-18 reception that saved the day against the Eagles at AT&T Stadium, and announced to the entire NFL that Hilton's wheels were as agile as they once were. He formed an instant chemistry with Prescott and Lamb, mentoring young WRS regularly, and the film shows how often he parted, even when not directed. Spoiler: too much. I understand the interest in Beckham, but in my opinion, Hilton has already shown what can be in this attack, and, for me, that puts him above OBJ on my wish list. Noah Brown. There isn't a coach pulling oxygen that wouldn't give a piece of his left lung to have a player with Brown's dedication and grit on his team, and you can take that to the bench. It's a guy who did everything he was asked to do, which included a lot of dirty work and hard work on special teams throughout his 6-year career with the Cowboys, a former 7th-round pick, 2017, who finally got his shot as a starter in 2022, in a vacant position by Cedric Wilson. Brown became the star of the show at WR when the Cowboys needed it most, having lost Prescott for 5 games and with Lamb trying to find his rhythm as WR1, with Gallup still absent due to injury. Brown gave a show that led many to believe that he would possibly share a free agency arc with Wilson, but he cooled noticeably during the second half of the season. Having already played on more than one race contract in Dallas, it would make sense for both of them to dance that tango again, given its value for special teams and as a piece of depth, security in attack. What's out there? Note: players will have no restrictions on March 15th except a newly signed contract with the current team before that date. Odell Beckham Jr. Did you know that the Cowboys would not simply abandon this courtship after throwing all their weight in an attempt to woo Beckham to Dallas in December during several visits, before the two failed to reach an agreement, largely because of the receiver's inability to intervene and contribute immediately? This prompted them to take a break and sign with Hilton, but as the front office readily admits, they will again engage with what should, keyword, be a healthy OBJ in the coming weeks. The last time he dressed, he went to the Rams, where he proved he's still a game-changing talent, but he's coming back from his second broken ACL and is getting older, 2 key points in this conversation along with compensation. Juju SmithSchuster. From Steelers eliminated the threat of winning the Super Bowl to Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs, SmithSchuster had a good run in the last 2 seasons. Acquired by the Chiefs following the highly successful trade that sent Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins, SmithSchuster went on to have a resurgent season in KC, with 933 receiving yards, 12 yards per average catch, during the regular season, and his 7 receptions on 9 targets for 53 yards against the Eagles in the Super Bowl could not have been more timely to help pluck the birds in the second half. His stock is now higher than ever, and with an emotional attachment to what Reid and Mahomes did for his career, when many thought he would simply disappear, it will be a challenge for any NFL team to lose him from the Chiefs, but the Cowboys would be negligent in not having SmithSchuster as a possible target on their board of WR free agency. Jacobi Myers. Myers is not a name that carries the panache of Beckham, Hilton or SmithSchuster, but consider that he has been one of the most consistent in his position in the last 4 seasons, and despite much instability as a defender in New England. NC State's previously drafted wideout, 2019, has produced an average of, literally, 800 receiving yards per season over the past 3 years, available in 5 games during that period, which goes to its durability. Lamb ascended and Gallup will presumably finally be 100% again, and far away from his torn ACL, when the regular season starts in September, and Myers could provide another notable weapon in the WR depth chart, and one that would presumably be less expensive than SmithSchuster, or perhaps even a more publicized and decorated, albeit risky, player like Beckham. Darius Slayton. 2 birds, 1 stone, a Merida? Striking a deal with Slayton would not only strengthen the Cowboys' receiving unit, but also weaken the division's rival, especially considering how Slayton regained his swagger for the New York Giants throughout the 2022 season. In his first 4 seasons, he broke the 700 receptions mark for the 3rd time and averaged 2 yards per reception, the career record for his career. Reception, 15.7, and reception percentage, 64.8%. These are numbers that can immediately help the Cowboys move the chains more regularly, but more importantly, stretch the field vertically to make it more difficult for opposing teams to position themselves on the fast attack and/or tight ends operating from below on the second level. Honorable mention. DJ Chark. This can easily be one of the best value achievements if it comes true, because Chark hasn't done enough recently to secure a big payout at this year's free agency, but he did enough to prove his potential for impact is still present. His 500-plus receiving yards in 2022 helped Jared Goff lead the Detroit Lions offense to an astonishing level of production, a complementary role played in conjunction with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Khalif Raymond. It would be a similar dynamic for him in Dallas, complementing Lamb and Gallup, making it a ready fit, at least in theory. The former second-round pick is a former 1,000-yard receiver, which is infinitely intriguing when imagining what he can do with Prescott in the center, considering what he showed with Goff throwing the ball at him. And then fan what you think of this news, comment what you think, because your opinion is very important for the development of the team. Do not forget to leave your like until the next video.